Welcome back. I am so happy and excited to see you consistently watching videos after the videos. Here in this particular video, we will be learning the correlation between massive iceberg and human mind. It is also called iceberg model of mind. Let's understand that what exactly is an iceberg. An iceberg is a massive ice which is floating on the sea level. Sometimes it is in the form of some small rocks, sometimes it is so big that you can consider it to be a floating mountain, right? And let me give you one reference with which you will be easily able to recall that what exactly an iceberg is. The ship Titanic actually hit an iceberg, and that became the reason of sinking of that massive ship, right? So iceberg is the floating ice, floating mass of ice which floats on the sea level, right? Now when we look at the iceberg, it looks kind of this, right? And if we see in comparison to the sea level, we will be able to see that this is the sea level. So only this much portion of the iceberg is visible. Only this much portion of the iceberg is above the sea level, and a massive portion of the iceberg is below the sea level. So we call it that this particular level is hardly 10%, and this depth, right, it is 90%. If you want to actually experience this, you just pull a glass of water and put an ice cube inside it. You will see that only the topmost surface of the ice cube is above the water level, and remaining portion of the ice is below the water level. That means below the surface level. So what is the relation between this iceberg and human mind? In the same way, like the iceberg's 10% part is visible above the sea level and remaining 90% is below the sea level, below the surface level. In the same way, in our life, when we function, we do things with awareness which are in very small portion. That means hardly 10% things we do consciously and 90% things we do unconsciously. That means we do not have any awareness about the things that we do in our daily life. Right now, the way you are breathing, right now, the posture in which you are not aware about all these things. Might be once I named them, your awareness went there and you got the awareness that how exactly is my posture, or how exactly is my breathing pattern. But before these instructions, the awareness was not there. Your awareness was only in understanding what I am trying to explain to you. So with awareness, we do very little things in our life, and most of the things we do without being aware, because all the patterns that we have in our unconscious mind, those patterns help us function in this life. When you are learning driving, initially when you start to drive, you learn everything consciously, right? You learn how to hold your steering, how to look into the mirror, the rear view mirror, right? How to handle that handbrake, accelerator, brake, clutch, everything. You are aware about everything, and you think that how so many things will be handled all together while driving, because you have to keep your focus on the road also. But gradually, once you practice driving for some time, even just for few days, all these functions, all these motor activities become default. They become automatically. And now when you drive your car, you hardly remember that when you looked into the mirror, or when actually you push that brake or accelerator or clutch, right? Because every function is now being handled with the help of patterns that exist inside your unconscious. That means without your awareness, you are able to function in your life. This is something which is very, very important, because all these functions, all these patterns exist inside the unconscious, and that's why we are able to execute those patterns. When we look at the iceberg, whatever comes in awareness, that means whatever part becomes visible, depends on the depth, that what depth you have inside. In the same way, whatever activities, whatever functions you are doing at the visible level, it depends that in the invisible level, how deep is your programming. Suppose if you are a newbie, if you are a newbie driver, that means you have just started to learn driving, your skills, your visible skills, the skills with which you are actually driving your car, they will be at a different level. But once you have driven your cars for suppose 50 hours or 100 hours, your skill set will go to another level. You will have those patterns, those depth of driving skills with which you will be able to drive your car at the default mode, right? So how much expertise you show depends on how much depth you have inside, how much experience of something you have within yourself at the unconscious level, right? So I hope now you are getting some clarity that how an iceberg represent the model of our mind. And when we talk about the model of our mind, so this 10% level is like conscious level of mind, and this 90% portion is like unconscious level of your mind. This unconscious level of mind holds your beliefs, your values, your past experiences, your decision meta programs, and lot many things. That means all the things that exist inside the mindset. The mindset, this set contains all the things that exist inside your personality, and all those things are not in our awareness. They function at the unconscious level. We are not consciously aware about it. Everything is existing inside the unconscious, and that's why we are functioning in our life based on all those learnings and patterns that we have in at our unconscious level. We are not conscious about it, still we are able to function in our life. So that's why it becomes a great responsibility that we train our unconscious in the right way, because we have learned many patterns in our life. A few patterns work in our favor, but a few patterns work against us. So we need to unlearn those patterns, and we need to install those patterns with which we can function properly in our life, right? So this is the iceberg model that represents that how exactly a massive iceberg is similar to the functioning of your mind. In the next video, we will be learning the horse and rider model of the mind, and it will give you great insights, right? So live the life that you deserve, and I will see you in the next video.